Welcome into this edition of the NFL Daily Mailbag. Appreciate all of you who submitted questions. A lot of news and rumors to discuss as we approach kickoff this weekend, first NFL Sunday. I'm so excited. I'm sure all of y'all are as well. As we get to our first question here in a second, again, use hashtag NFL or Super Chat to get on the show. Smokey254 McKenzie saying, why is it that the Texans have much better coaching staff than last year? This is already a great question. Much improved offensive line, defense looking good, and still presumed to be the worst team in the NFL. I think it's the Seahawks, if not Bears. Smokey McKenzie, I appreciate that question. I'm from Houston. I follow the Texans very closely. David Culley did not know what the heck he was doing. The guy was in over his head. And when you coach in the NFL for 30 years and you never get promoted to a coordinator, it's a pretty big red flag for me. So the fact they hired him to begin with was a joke. He was a joke of a head coach. Lovie Smith, I'm not saying that was an outstanding hire, but he's still a lot better than Culley, and you can see the culture's changing in Houston. Luckily, Jack Easterby's not as involved as he once was. He's not going to be on headset anymore. What a joke that guy is. But the Texans will be much better this year. I do not think they're nearly as bad as the Seahawks. I have the Texans going 5-12. I can see them maybe going 6-11, 7-10, but they're not going to be nearly as bad as the Falcons. They're not going to be as bad as the Seahawks. Probably not going to be as bad as the Jags or the Bears either. Toxic Redneck, he's from Houston. What's he got to say? Seattle pick 1 with Young. Second is Falcons with C.J. Stroud. Third is Texans with Anderson. I don't think the Texans are going to be picking in front of the Jaguars. However, let's say the Texans can trade up. They have a lot of picks. You use those assets to trade up to get Will Anderson. It's certainly possible. But if the Texans add Anderson, the young talent they'd have on the football team would be through the roof. Junior Estrada saying, should the Patriots draft offensive linemen in next year's draft? Maybe. Cole Strange is actually looking somewhat decent, but what the Patriots need is weapons for Mac Jones. I mean, they do not have any weapons for him. I mean, they have Devontae Parker. Is he going to be their top target? I don't know, but they desperately need some weapons for Mac. You need to draft wide receivers next year. Why Big Jordan? You're the new GM of the Panthers. It's 2023. Your options are to roll with Matt Golden Corral, draft Anthony Richardson, or draft Tyler Van Dyke. What are you doing? It's tough to say because we're not going to see Golden Corral at any point this year. He's out for the year. He didn't look great in the preseason. He's a third-round pick. Draft Anthony Richardson. Man, I don't think Richardson's going to be a first-round pick. I think he's going to be maybe a second or third-round pick. Van Dyke will be your first-round pick. I really like Richardson a lot. I really do. He's growing on me. I watched that entire Utah game the other night. I mean, he's so skilled. He's so athletic. He's so skilled. I mean, that pump fake in the throw of the end zone for the touchdown was wild. That spin move he put on. I might draft Richardson, honestly. I think to answer your question, I would draft Anthony Richardson. Take someone else in the first round. Take Richardson in the second round to compete with Baker and Golden Corral. 11's my hero. Appreciate the question. Dark horse Super Bowl contender. It's a great question. Honestly, might be the Minnesota Vikings because this is a team that I think is going to win maybe 11 or 12 games, sneak into the playoffs, not sneak in, but comfortably make the playoffs, and maybe sneak to, let's say, an NFC championship game. This might be like the Bengals of this year, the Vikings. Here are some other Super Bowl dark horse teams to watch. Dolphins have so much talent. If Tua can perform, they're going to be dangerous. Philadelphia is going to be really good. New Orleans and Minnesota, I think, also are Super Bowl dark horses. I think all those teams make the playoffs, and all of them have the potential to make a deep run in January and into February. Who is your dark horse Super Bowl contender? Go down in the comment section. Let me know. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So when ad break comes, go down, chime in. Who is your dark horse Super Bowl contender? The goatee saying Ravens have a chance to sign OBJ. Maybe. I think the top three contenders right now are the Rams, the Bills, and the Ravens, but the Ravens need a lot of help at wide receiver. OBJ, by far the best guy out there in free agency. I understand he's going to miss the first half of the season, but he is still a really good option right now for the Ravens. They should bring him in, and the Ravens are going to be a playoff team. You could pull out your secret weapon, OBJ, in Week 10 or Week 11, and then he could be your top target for the rest of the season for Lamar Jackson. The past master saying, I know JuJu doesn't have anywhere near Tyreek Hill speed, but if he is 100% healthy, I could easily see him getting 100 receptions. I like JuJu. I think 100 receptions is a pretty big reach there. Maybe 80, but he's got to stay healthy. And I think he's going to have a pretty good year. I really do. I mean, he's not going to be able to be a Tyreek Hill. He's not going to be a Tyreek Hill replacement, but he could have a pretty big year if he stays healthy. I would agree. I don't know if I agree with 100 receptions, though. Smokey254 McKenzie. What do you feel about reuniting Anthony Richardson and Dameon Pierce, saying that we will not be in top 4 or 5 picks? If Davis isn't the guy, and I think he is the guy, but let's say he struggles this year, then you're probably going to have a pretty high draft pick. I don't really see a scenario, Smokey, where Davis struggles and the Texans don't have a top 3 pick, right? If they have a top 3 pick, they're probably going to take a quarterback. So Anthony Richardson might be a guy that's available later in the first round or the second round. So let's say Davis struggles and they trade back because they're not going to get Stroud or Young, then maybe that's possible. But I really like Anthony Richardson. He grew on me a lot watching that Utah game, but seeing him and Pierce reunited would be cool. But I think Davis Mills is going to be the franchise quarterback in Houston going forward. The elite. Spencer Rattler will get drafted by Minnesota. Maybe in like the 3rd or 4th round. I mean, I don't see him being that high of a draft pick. I think he will get drafted. He's got to play well this year at South Carolina. But Rattler, I'm just not high on him. I question what he does as a leader. I think his leadership qualities have to improve, but I think him having a fresh start at South Carolina is going to be really big for him, and I think he has a lot of potential. Hopefully, over there at South Carolina, he finds that potential. But maybe Minnesota takes him in the 3rd or 4th round. He works out like Kellen Mond didn't, and he's the guy for the Vikings after Kirk Cousins. Let's say you would like to bet on that, the elite. Spencer Rattler getting drafted by Minnesota. You maybe do that during the draft, but until then, you can bet on the NFL all season long. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code NFL Daily for a 125% deposit bonus. But you have to go to that link, chatsports.com/bet. That means if you put $100 in, you can get 125 free cash to bet with. Chatsports.com/bet. I was betting on college football last weekend. I'll be betting on the NFL this weekend. Go and do the same. Chatsports.com/bet. Tickle Me Watson saying, could OBJ go to the Titans? Yes, it's a possibility. I think when you look at OBJ, I think he's going to go back to the Rams. There's a report that the Rams and OBJ have had some positive dialogue, and I think that's the most realistic possibility right now for OBJ. But when you look at the Titans wide receiver room, they could use some help. Is Treylon Burks going to be good? I think so, but we don't know that for sure. They have Kyle Phillips. They have McMath. They have Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. They have Robert Woods. OBJ would make that wide receiver room look a lot better than it currently does. I think it makes a lot of sense for a contender to bring OBJ in because he's probably going to miss a lot of the season, at least the first half of the season. So a playoff team, if they bring OBJ in, he can be, a pretty big guy down the stretch. Michael Ayers. What do you think about QB Will Levis from Kentucky? Michael, you're asking the right guy. I am a big Will Levis fan. I am such a big Will Levis fan that I might have to start doing mayonnaise in my coffee. That's how much I like Will Levis. I think he's going to be a stud at the next level. I think he has everything it takes to succeed at the next level. He looked great in their first game against Miami of Ohio. Won me some dough. I appreciate Will Levis. I think Will Levis from Kentucky is the real deal. I think he's going to be the 3rd quarterback taken in this year's draft. I should say next year's draft behind C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. Batman saying, will Miami draft a star running back next year? I think that's pretty realistic. The Dolphins might have, let's say, the 19th or 20th overall pick after they make the playoffs, and maybe Bijan Robinson's the guy. I think that's very possible for them to take a running back. I've seen other running backs linked, but Robinson, by far my favorite. Logan Drexler. Who are your top 3 breakout candidates for running back and for wide receiver this year? It's a great question. I don't think I can count a rookie as a breakout candidate here. I think Elijah Mitchell is going to be outstanding for San Francisco. I get it, they lost Mostert, but he's going to be the guy there going forward. I think he's going to be really good. Who else here? I think Chase Edmonds for the Dolphins is going to be really, really good. I think he's going to have a breakout year. And then when you look at some other guys, Who else? Who else? Oh, yeah, Nico Collins, wide receiver for the Texans, going to have a good year. I think Jalen Waddle, I don't know if I call it a breakout year because he's really good in his rookie year, but when you look at what he did in his rookie year, like that was against CB1s. He's going to make CB2s look silly this year. Nico Collins for the Texans, as producer Jeremy Chuggs mentioned, he's going to have a really big breakout year as well. Again, Dameon Pierce, I think, is going to have a good year. Here's another breakout candidate. Devontae Smith? Yeah, he might be good. Because now they have A.J. Brown. He takes a lot of pressure off him. So, yeah, Devontae Smith, too, in Philadelphia, I'd say, is going to have a breakout year. The Goatee saying, do you think if Trey Lance starts the whole season, he will lead 49ers to the playoffs? Yeah, I think he will. I think he's good. I still want to see him prove a little bit more. But I think he's going to be the guy going forward. And I think the 49ers make the playoffs, even though it's a pretty tough division. Dax Rustin 007. Will Lamar get extended? Yes. The Ravens would be foolish not to do it. I think we will see an extension before the season happens. If not, he might leave next year. And Miami's certainly a team that's been linked to him. But I think when you look at what we've heard, Josina Anderson reported that there's an improved offer on the table. He wants fully guaranteed money. We'll see what happens. But the Ravens should extend Lamar, and I think will. Batman saying Lamar to the Giants next year. It's a possibility. I think the Giants and the Dolphins make a lot of sense if he becomes a free agent. Don't think Daniel Jones is the guy in New York, but I do think Tua might be the guy in Miami. What do you think the best Week 1 matchup is? A lot of exciting matchups in Week 1, starting with Bills and Rams on Thursday night. Go down. Let me know who is your best Week 1 matchup. I would say Bills-Rams. I get it's the first matchup, but it's probably the best one of the week. Got Sam in the comments. Appreciate you, Sam. What should we expect from the Jags this year? You should expect a better football team because Urban Meyer's no longer there. That was a disaster. I felt so bad for Trevor Lawrence last year. I think Lawrence has improved numbers. I think Travis Etienne's going to have I should have said that for breakout year earlier. I think Travis Etienne's going to have a great year for them. They have James Robinson, a lot of talent on offense there. So, yeah, I think the Jags are going to be better, but probably still last in the AFC South. I have them going like 4-13, 2-15, or 5-12, something like that. The Past Master, appreciate you again in the comments, saying the Chargers have Khalil Mack playing opposite of Joey Bosa. Oh, Peter, that's nasty. Chargers are going to be good. They're going to be really, really good this year. I have them winning the West over there in the AFC. I think the Chargers are going to be dangerous this year. They might win. I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they might be in the AFC Championship game. Be sure, if you want to get on our future mailbags, to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We got these live shows at least once a week, probably twice a week at this point. Subscribe if you want to get on future mailbags. Malik Brooks saying, how many touchdowns will Kyle Pitts have? I'd say 7, maybe 8. He's going to have a lot. If you have a chance to draft Kyle Pitts, you should do it because he's going to have a really big year because Calvin Ridley's out for the year because he was betting on sports. So, yeah, Kyle Pitts going to have a breakout year. Big year. Vlad the Impaler saying, do you think the Niners will regret letting Raheem Mostert go? No, because I think Elijah Mitchell's really good. I mean, outside of him, there's some question marks at that position. But I think he's the guy. Raheem Mostert's going to have a pretty good year in Miami, though. SM saying they should do a Losers Bowl. The two worst NFL teams should play each other. Winner gets the first pick. #NFL. You know, that's been talked about by fans on Twitter and whatnot, but, like, if that happens, the players are not going to give a crap. Like, they're going to be like, oh, my gosh, we're playing to see who's going to come in and replace us. I mean, it would be a lot of fun. It would be a highly entertaining game. I think it's a good idea, SM, but the players would be against that. If you love the NFL, be sure to go down, like this video, hit that thumbs up icon. The more likes we get, the more people come across our channel here at Chat Sports. Like this video if you love the NFL and are excited about the upcoming season, just days away from the upcoming season. Ridder Hype Train saying, will Desmond Ridder start this year? Yes, I think he will. I think Marcus Mariota is probably going to go like 1-5, 1-6, something like that. They bring Ridder in. I wish it was a better situation for Desmond Ridder, but he should absolutely start this year. He looked better than Marcus Mariota did in the preseason.